Yes, I have adopted twice from a shelter before. We chose a shelter versus a breeder because we weren't looking for any specific type of dog. We weren't looking for any specific type of cat, as I've adopted both from there. And I've worked for one before, and I just knew they had really good pets there. Characteristics I was looking for in a dog were somebody that wasn't super active, wanted to be with our family. Characteristics I wasn't looking for in a dog were breed, size more than anything. We were looking at a medium-sized dog and ended up going with a huge dog, so that really didn't play a role anymore. We were looking for something that was pretty easy to manage, so no real health problems, but that didn't really happen. We actually have adopted a dog from a shelter, so we had to send them back because they just weren't the right fit for our family, but it was one that they already had another family lined up, otherwise we wouldn't have done it. I'm against shelters that use euthanasia as their main form of moving dogs out because there's so many other ways that they could do. They could transfer to a different shelter, they could put on different adoption sales to get dogs out or animals out. That always works for our shelter back in Kansas City, so yes, there is such things as humane euthanization. We actually had to do it for our dog. Pretty much it was just a shot as if you were going under anesthesia, just so you didn't wake up. It's very peaceful for them. They don't feel any pain. It just calms them down and it's nothing too traumatic. Yes, we did have to euthanize my dog. She was having 8 seizures a day and in horrible pain. She couldn't remember who we were, so we thought it was best to just put her out of that pain. I would just say, even if you are looking for a breed of dog, go to a shelter first. They may have that breed of dog that you're looking for, a purebred. That happens a lot, more than people think. So I would say adopt, don't shop.
Some shelters euthanize dogs that are considered unwanted or unadoptable.
I have not adopted from a shelter. I would be open to adopting from a shelter. I would rather want something that's good with family, lots of people and kids, because I have a really big family. But I like all breeds. They all are good dogs. Pitbulls, even though they have their name, make really good pets and are really loyal. I generally put my dog first before going to a shelter because even though my dog is a good dog, I wouldn't trust that somebody would adopt her right away because she is older. And typically that's the reason why people give their dogs to shelters is because they're older. Those that euthanize dogs is because they don't have the space, and which is understandable because it's better to euthanize than be in miserable and crammed and uncomfortable in some cases, but at the same time it's really sad that this dog got euthanized because somebody decided that they didn't want to take care of it anymore. There is a such thing as humane euthanizing. Most of the time it's a shot that just kind of seems like they're falling asleep and they don't wake up. It's very painless. The only reason I could ever justify euthanizing a dog would be if it's in pain. As long as we get as many dogs adopted and with good homes, that's the really big goal.
3, 2, 1.
More and more dogs are being rescued or relinquished into animal shelters, resulting in overpopulation. Winthrop and DeWoodchuck surveyed shelters and reported capacity for only 2.6% of the animals entering their facilities in the last year. 19,998 spots for the annual 764,879 animals handled. Thus, the average animal remains in a shelter for only 9.5 days before exiting through euthanasia, redemption, or adoption. This data shows dog shelters are now in a race against time.
His name was Jake. I adopted him from a shelter, and he was a mixed pit. We were there at the time. We seen the dog we loved. We probably preferred to be a more adult. No, I really wouldn't. I would still try and work with the dog as much as I possibly can. I feel ill towards them. I don't like the idea of killing their dogs. Yes, putting them down when they're old, or save as many dogs as we possibly can. I love choosing from a shelter. We did have to relieve Jake. Jake was had to give back because of our apartment complexes. Landlords, they didn't like him because he was a little bit over the weight limit that they had.
In a survey of owners dealing with the situation of relinquishing their companions, struggle with the decision, most often putting it off. Waiting longer to relinquish a companion makes it harder for the connection to be broken from the human companion bond that develops. Some owners take weeks, months, and even years to finally give up the companion. This causes more mental trauma to not only the owner, but the pet as well.